So what's a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two or more numbers that have something in common that we can try to simplify. Now here I'm going to draw a visual that uses both squares and circles, and I'm going to give you test type questions that you might see on an end of the year state test, or maybe if your school does map testing, and you see squares and circles. And here's the question you're going to be given. What is the ratio of squares to circles? And to do that, you're going to have to look and count up, say, okay, how many squares are there, how many circles are there, and how can we describe it? Now, if I was to count up the squares, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. And if I was to count up the circles, I have 3 circles. So that means it's a ratio of 6 to 3. I have 6 squares to 3 circles. Now, can I simplify that? Yeah, is there anything that can go into both 6 and 3? Yeah, 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I could also say there's a ratio of 2 to 1. So saying for every 2 squares, there's going to be 1 circle. Another way we could do is we could flip this question and say, well, what's the ratio of circles to squares? We already know that there's 6 squares and 3 circles, but the ratio is going to be written differently. Ratio is going to say, well, there's 3 to 6, meaning there's 3 circles to 6 squares, or for every 1 circle, there's 2 squares. Doesn't have to just be circles and squares or visuals like that. You could also have this like letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and I stop at I, and then I give you the question of, what's the ratio of vowels to consonants? Now to know that, I have to know my vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. And if I was to count out my vowels, I have A, I have E, and I have I, so that's 3. If I was to count out my consonants, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a ratio of 3 to 6. Can anything go into both of those? I can divide both those numbers by 3. So that means it's a ratio of 1 to 2. Well, what happens if I was to add 2 more consonants? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That would change my ratio to something I could not simplify. And that means I have 3 vowels for every 8 consonants. And like I said, unfortunately, there's nothing that can go into both. So that is as simple as you can get. And those are great examples of what a ratio is. It's a comparison of 2 or more things and just seeing how many for one will be for the other.